Hey y'all, what's up? Okay, so I just wanted to get my really quick rant out. I'm gonna probably do some more videos or whatever, but I just wanted to get my rant out. Okay, so following the Derrick Jaxn situation, not really following it, but it's all over my timeline. And I do follow quite a few people who are in the field that I'm looking to get into. So anyway, I see that it's the whole thing about him cheating, somebody's coming out with it or whatever the case may be. And I was like, okay, you know, for me, it wasn't surprising. It does, you know, I figured somebody who can, first of all, somebody that's in that type of field, and if it's a man, who has not completely given your life over to Christ, you're always subject to fall short of sin. So let's just say that. But aside from that, just him being, you know, who he is and what he's in, always preaching about self-love to women and support your women and love your women and all this and that, there are going to be some women out there who's like, oh my God, really? I love you. Let me give you some. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. The nature of what he's doing. And at the end of the day, he's still a man. Just like Kirk Franklin is still a man who cursed. Just like your pastor is still a man who sleeps with men and women. Just like your husband is still a man and he cheats on you. Just like you're still a woman and you cheat on him. We're still human. Okay, none of us are without sin. We're still human. That's the whole reason why you have the ability to repent. That's the whole reason why you have the ability to ask God for forgiveness, because we're a human. And with that being said, what we as people, it's the people, for me, it's the people that put their blind faith into a man because of, based off of this, y'all are like, the people are not, when I'm reading the comments, y'all can't even get it out. When I'm reading the comments, I'm reading all these people talking about practice what you preach and da 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 da. Don't put your faith in the deliverer, baby. Put your faith in the message that's being delivered. What he's saying is, these are the toxic things you should not take from a man. It does not matter what that man does. What matters is the message is still right. If you had a problem with somebody preaching a message and that message turned out to not be right, okay, that's one thing. I get that. I understand that, because that's what I would be upset about. Okay, you up here telling us that we need to, we need to be with a man that's narcissistic or toxic, when that's not the way it is. I would understand that, but when he's telling you, it does not take away from the message. And I had to learn this because I had a problem with going to churches, and I had a problem with a religion. I had a problem with certain situations that preach this but practice that. And I had a problem with it. Like, I was like, oh, I can't go to this church with this preacher because he was caught cheating on his wife. I can't take the message that you're delivering to me because you're not living by that message. And I was very judgmental in that way. I was very naive to think that's the way it works. And as I have grown, I've realized that even though you can still know that Bible front and backwards, you can still know the word or whatever it is that you're preaching about, that does not mean you're not going to fall short. Doesn't mean that you're not going to make a mistake or you're going to F up sometime. Maybe marriage is not for him. Maybe this man has said on there that he had not given his life over to Christ, that he had not wanted to. He was battling against what God wanted him to do. He said that he was drinking and smoking and trying to live within the worldly life that he was trying to live in. So he was making a lot of mistakes, and that's okay, baby, because we do it every day. Y'all do it every day. We all do it every day. Ain't none of us perfect. So don't get on there. So y'all gotta stop trying to drag somebody when they're at their lowest, because that's not helping you. That's not changing your situation. You talking about, then I see comments where people are talking about her skin and how she looks, talking about your skincare ain't this and that. Girl, first of all, if you are an adult woman, as an adult woman, whether you have acne or not, if you are a grown woman, you should know that there are some women. I have acne. My face breaks out. There are a lot of women who face break out. There's a lot of women that I see are happy or say that they're happy and take their makeup off and their face break out. So you having bumps don't mean nothing. I ain't never seen somewhere or some study that says that the only reason why you have The only reason why you have acne or bumps on your face is because you're unhappy or you stressed. Like, that's mindless and that's senseless and that's so mean. And it's the mean people. For me, it's the people who try to get and act all righteous and all holy and all better than thou, but you're basically a bully. You're bullying these people. Yes, they're on a public platform, and as somebody who's in public, he very well could have not said nothing. He could have not addressed anything. He could have not said anything about nothing that was going on, because he don't personally owe y'all nothing. But as a person who's in the public, as a person who has a platform that he's giving advice and he's life coaching and he's doing all these things for, he felt it his duty to get on there and say, hey y'all, and yes, I did take my seatbelt off for a moment, but he felt it was his duty to say, hey y'all, I messed up, y'all, I fucked up. My bad. You know what I'm saying? Not even a my bad. I'm sorry I fucked up. He may go, and he very well may be narcissistic. I don't know. Only messages I've ever seen from him is something he's uplifting. Not just women. I've seen where he's uplifting men as well. But it's just when him giving messages or reacting to certain situations that are popular on social media, as I see everybody else do. And here's the thing for me. Here's what I can't get. Is I can go under a post of Tanya, whatever her name is, when she was posting about Kevin Samuels. I can go on a post about Kevin, where people are defending this man's every action. I don't know. It's certain people I don't follow. It's certain type of coachings or whatever you want to call it that they do that I don't follow, because I don't need that in my spirit. But I have seen some videos, and I've seen the type of videos Tanya puts up. I've seen the type of videos that Kevin put up. And here's my thing. My issue, I don't have let me rephrase it. I don't have an issue with anybody. My thing, the reason why I don't watch Kevin's videos is not because I don't think that he's is because he's telling the truth about whatever it is, all the multiple things that people like to go so hard. My reason for not watching him is because in his marketing strategy, the clips that he chose to post so that he can get people to watch his content are the clips where he's tearing women down. You're fat, you're this, you're that. And yes, I'm fat, so of course I'm gonna take offense to that. Not offense to the fat part, because I'm fat, okay? You can't change that. But what I will take offense to is you telling me that because I'm fat, I'm not worthy enough to be loved. I'm not worthy enough to be in a relationship with a man who looks nice, or I'm not worthy enough to be in a relationship with a man who has money or who has a good job, that's what I take offense to. Don't get me wrong, I know realistically that if you have kids or if you have certain things, that certain people may look a certain way, but that's a certain man you don't need. But don't tell me that I can't find a man, period. Don't tell me it's going to be hard for me to find. That was my issue with him. My issue with him was the clips. And it wasn't even, and to be honest with you, I've not really seen clips that he did about women. The clip that I saw was a clip he did about this guy, 20 years old, call in and said, you know, he's having issue with women. And Kevin was like, what size are you? You got a small, you're fat, you're this, you're that, you're making McDonald's money and da-da-da-da to a 20-year-old. And I'm like, okay, if your purpose is to uplift men, make that your focal point. You don't have to tear somebody down to get your message across. But with that being said, if somebody says, oh, I don't watch Kevin because he's negative, oh, y'all will go tit for tat for that. Like, y'all love that. Like, I don't understand. Why is it so easy for y'all to accept narcissistic, toxic things that's in your face, but then you want to take somebody like Derrick Jaxn says he's narcissistic because his wife got on here and was just like, this is what it is. How many times have y'all took that back who didn't deserve to be taken back? Because I'm gonna tell you, what he's doing is no different what anybody else went through. I can sit here and tell you, I can sit here and give you a plan from A to Z on how to live your best life, your marriage, your this and your that, and baby, I can be sitting up here going in shambles with my husband. So I'm not telling you something because, oh, I'm doing this or this is what it is. No, I'm telling you something because this is what I went through. So now I am enabled to tell you these things. I I can't tell if a few years ago I wouldn't have been able to tell you anything about how you should cope with losing a child, how you should cope with losing a mother, until I was that person. I couldn't tell you what it was like to have a stillborn. I couldn't tell you what it was like to carry a baby for 9 months and then give birth to that baby, go in labor with that baby, have that baby, and that baby not have a heartbeat. I would have never been able to tell you nothing about that. I couldn't tell you how to feel. I couldn't tell you what to do, how to do it, until I was in that situation. And when I was in that situation and I lost my child and I carried for 9 months and lost him because he didn't have a heartbeat, I'm like, dang. So if somebody came up to me or somebody asked me like, man, this is what I'm going through, how do I cope? I can now give you advice on something that I went through, something I'm currently going through. I currently deal with depression. I currently deal with mental illness. I currently deal with sadness and despair, and not feeling like I love myself enough because I blame myself for a reason why I lost my child. I deal with that today. I deal with that right now. So if you came to me and you asked me something, yes, I can give you advice on it because I'm going through it. So I'm telling you what not to do. I'm telling you the best way so you're not in the same place as me. I can't tell you about a marriage if I ain't never went through shit with my marriage. Me and my husband went through a whole lot of shit for 9 years. We went through a whole lot of that. Him feeling a certain type of way, talking to other women, me doing the same thing. We went through that shit. We went through that. So because we went through that, when you ask me something or if I'm talking about a situation, that is why I can talk about it, because I went through it. So he's telling y'all the things that y'all shouldn't take from a man, and he's that exact same man. Guess what? That makes it even more right. That means that he knows what he's talking about, because he's the same motherfucker he's telling you not to mess with. So y'all, just all I ask is that people just take a step back. We are so quick to drag. We so quick to cancel. We so quick to hop on the train and lusting for blood and for I just want us to be more supportive of each other, more loving, more uplifting, because it does not work if it's not there. There's a lot of people on social media that I don't mess with. I'm not finna drag you. I'm not finna dog you, because that's not my place. You got enough to deal with. It's not my place to do that. I'm gonna just move on to the side. I'm gonna exit left. That's what you do if it's not somebody that you like, especially when this man is telling you I did mess up, and it does not change. It may change your view of the delivery, and I completely understand. If people start following him, I completely understand. But 90% of the women who or dragging his wife and dragging him are still going to be following him. 90% of y'all are still going to be running behind and hanging on every word that this man say, because baby, you need somebody that's narcissistic. You need somebody that's treating you that way. So that's why it's so hard for y'all to stomach somebody telling you not to be with that person, because that's what y'all need. There are women out here, for some reason we need men to be the narcissistic assholes that they are, because if we did not need them, they would not be here. If there was a man out here who was being narcissistic, because I think Kevin Samuels is, I think there's a lot of men are. If there were men out here who was being narcissistic, if we didn't need them, if we didn't give them the power that they crave and the reason why they act the way they act, then what would they do then? But we feed into that, and that's the exact same thing that we're dogging him and dogging his wife about not doing. But you do the same thing every day. So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna go live tonight. I'm gonna talk about this on my podcast. We'll go a little further. It breaks my heart every time I see so many hurt women. It breaks my heart every time, because it's like we can't never heal because we so hurt. And I ain't talking about nobody, because baby, I can be just as hurt. I ain't talking about nobody, because I done went through some shit. So I'm not judging anybody, but what I'm saying is, when are we gonna get better? When are we gonna move past that? Anyway, y'all, I love y'all to pieces. Bye.